Good morning, everyone. This is Julie Edwards at Craftsecute, and welcome back to my channel. And I went ahead and created the inserts, the elements to this. What do we want to call this? An ephemera jacket. How about that? An ephemera jacket. And remember, this slides into here. Okay, it slides in, and this is what our cover looks like. Okay, I've not attached the magnets yet to this because I'm not quite sure if I want to go that route. But I want you to take a look at this so that when you pull out your, I've already got these attached in here and in the center hole for a pen closure, and I have that right here. Okay, and I'm going to redo this because, well, I'll show you how this works. So I'm going to go ahead and, if I can do this real quick, I'm going to attach it in a different way so that this doesn't come out all the time. But this is the pen closure. Let me just show you. Let's just stick this pen in here. Okay, so if I can. Okay, what's my problem? This shouldn't be a problem. It should go in, but okay, there it is. I don't know. It was the hang up right there. I don't know what that hang up was. But this is where you would house your pen, in the center of this. When I redo this, I'm going to have like a charm right here in the end with some extra string hanging off of it, just so you can pull it when you need to use it. But if I attach a charm here, and when I go to remove the pen, this little knot will not go through the hole. I just did that as a quick example type prototype. And when you close this up, this is what this will look like. It has a lobster claw, if you can see that lobster claw, to hang a charm with. That might change, or just, I don't know, do something a little bit different where this little jump ring is not so big. So that might be altered. That's the word I'm looking for. So when you open up your journal, you have this, and it opens out completely flat, and you can lift up this oops little thing that happened, and it ended up becoming a cool little feature. You just slide this out, and then this right here is the washi tape element that we can use. It's a removable element, so when you're working on your journal, you can just detach it from the Velcro dots. And then I have these little, as an example of how you can house your ephemera pieces in this acetate window. Now, the only thing that I'm not too happy about this is because I'm telling you, art glitter glue, look, it already busted right through it. It does not stick very well. I probably should have used maybe some Fabri-Tac, but I've used Fabri-Tac on other projects with the acetate, and it gives me that same problem. So what I may do is I may add some holes in here just so I don't lose this acetate feature, and then restring this in the same fashion, but having it strung down at the bottom, if that makes sense. So it'll look like a sewn in feature, but using the elastic. We'll discuss that and redo that when I come to it. But what I'll do is I'll probably show you an example on this, because we're going to do this same thing here on this flap here, but I don't know if I want to add the acetate. In hindsight, I probably shouldn't have used the acetate, but because it's there already, I'm just going to roll with it, right? Or I might add, I'll just staple it. I may staple it down here below. But when you create your folder, don't add I don't think the acetate is necessary, because this band will hold in your ephemera pieces, okay, that you want to use to be able to decorate your journal with. Because this is what that looks like in the back. See, I've got, this side doesn't have the acetate on it, and it still holds your ephemera pieces. Okay, so that's what this looks like on this side. All right, and you can just still slide all these little cool little features in here, like so. And then when you attach these, you can lift up this band and add other pieces in here to hold your letters, or, you know, like I said, ephemera pieces, so it's portable and that you can take it. So you can skip this if you don't have the acetate. Don't bother, just use it like, you know, just string it like this, and it still just looks very nice, doesn't it? I didn't put eyelets here because this cardboard is so substantial. The wear and tear on it, it's not going to have that much wear and tear because it is thick. This board is thick, okay? Remember, it started off with a craft card, and when you start decorating it, adding your decorative paper, it gets to be a pretty thick piece of cardboard, okay? And then here, without the acetate on this, you could just stick your things in here. Oops, got caught on my sweater. Okay, you can stick some things in here. This acetate, well, if it was going to be a good pocket, that would have been a pocket, a nice pocket, unless I staple it here. It still can be a pocket. So I have one pocket up here, and then this other smaller pocket for like smaller tags and smaller ephemera pieces that you want to use for decorating your journals with. Okay, so these are little long tags that are hanging in here. And then we have these bands. You can just put them in. That's what these bands are there to hold your pieces. Isn't that just lovely? Now, on this side, you're thinking, well, what are you going to do on this side? Well, I might add the same feature here, and on the outside on this side we'll have it, but I'm not quite sure yet. Okay, not sure what I'm going to do just yet. Okay, so I'll set this aside because we're going to work on here. I'm going to remove this pen, and then just remove all of these little things here. Remove this, set that aside, but that's what that looks like. Beautiful, huh? So you've got your portable washi tape, and then you have your ephemera holder here and an ephemera holder in the back of this. All right, now I'm going to add that feature to here, and then I just want to count how many holes I put in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 16 holes total, 8 and 8 holes. And I'll show you how to do that. Now, a lot of you may, in order for you to do this, I use this Crocodile, or yeah, it's Crocodile 2, to be able to bring this in like this and create all my holes. So, okay, now on the outside, you won't need anything like that. You could use this Crocodile, but that'll only take care of this one side. So this is actually a very good investment because it has your eyelet setters here and your hole punches, and it's got the, I think it's a 1/4 inch and a 3/16 inch hole, and this is a very, very good tool. Okay, so let's get started. Let's go and work on this one. So I want to create that same feature here, and when you do it here, the inside will have that same, because when you string it, you'll have this page right here to add other ephemera. But remember, I was going to add eyelets here for water pad, for an extra writing pad. But with this band, let's see, what do I have as an example? Okay, right here. With this, where is it at? Okay, you can stick a pad of paper in here. Not as thick as this though, and this is actually way too wide for this to slide in here. But when you have this feature, you can just stick your pad of paper in there. Okay, all right, so let's go ahead and what I may do, since I have 8, I may do 8, 9, 10, 11. I may do 11 holes here, just so I can take it up all the way to the top, and the band will be all the way up here. Okay, so that's what we'll do. And the spacing in here is 3/4 of an inch spacing. I didn't do an inch spacing because I thought this looks a lot better with a lot of this elastic banding. So I'm going to do 3/4 of an inch. I'll do 3 more holes. So that's what I'm going to do. Okay. So now I'll turn this aside and use my mat, my table mat, to guide me where I want to place my holes. I'm going to mark it out. Okay, so this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is about 8.5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, 8.5. But I'm going to center this. Let me zoom you in for this. Okay. Well, now you can't see my desk. That didn't quite help, did it? Nope. Well, that's a little bit better. Okay. You see this little edge right here from the 6 mark and to the left? That's about 2/8 of an inch. And this is 2/8 of an inch. Okay. So 2/8 of an inch times 2 is 1/2 an inch, right? So I'm leaving 2 inches here, and I'm going to start measuring from this hole here. Let's see if it's going to work. Let me get my little, let's see what I could use to mark. Okay. If I'm starting here, I want to go to this first hole, make my first mark, and then I go 1, 2, 3. That's 3/4 of an inch. 1, 2, 3, 1/4 of an inch. 1, 2, 3, 1/4 of an inch. 1, 2, 3. A hole will go here. 1, 2, 3. Another hole. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. I'm just 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Yep, that works out just fine. Okay. So now that I have this lined up, if you've already made your jackets, your cover, I am going to now get my pencil here. It is, because I sharpened it. Ugh, my desk is still a mess. Okay, let me go and line this back up again so I know it's centered. Okay, there we go. Use my heavier paperweight to hold this down. Okay. So here is 2/8 of an inch from this line out that way. 2/8 of an inch right here. So when I have this 2/8 of an inch, I'm going to start from this line and then go in my first dot, and that's 2/8 of an inch also. So I am going to put my first dot here. I want to go in just right there. So I'm going in about 2/8 of an inch from this edge in to mark my first dot. I just want to make sure that I got that lined up. This ruler is way too big. I need to invest in a small 6-inch ruler. Let's see if this is going to help me line this up. Let me move that right here, because I want to get this centered. I don't want it to. I just want to make sure I line up my holes correctly. There's one, and then I'm going to go in 1, 2, 3, and that's 1/4 of an inch. Make my other dot here, and then 1, 2, 3, go down to the left, scoot over to the left, and make another 1/4 of an inch. 1, 2, 3. I hope I didn't. Yep, I just moved my. No worries, I'll see if that lines up. Yeah, that lines up. Okay. So I'm going to go over from this mark. 1, 2, 3. See where a 6-inch ruler would come in? This is just way too long. But at least it's bendable. Okay, here's my dot. 1, 2, 3. So that's the next hole I need to line up. There. 1, 2, 3. And I think I'm going to pause this video and continue to make my holes, because this is like watching paint dry, and I will be right back. Okay, let's see. Oh, my desk is such a mess. I've been doing lots of other projects. I'll show you guys in the end. Okay. So I'm back, and I'm going to show you where the holes are going to be lined up. Now, when I started doing these holes here, this is where we were at. Okay, I centered it. Okay, if I can line this up, I will. Okay. So when I line this up, I went from this edge. Let's just start here. From the edges of your paper. Okay. All right. Let me zoom you in. Let me zoom you into this. Okay. From the edge of your binder, of your notebook. Okay. You want to come in 1/2 inch. 1/2 inch, okay? From this outer edge to this line, this faint line that I made, is 2/8 of an inch, okay? So what you want to do first is from this edge, go in 2/8 of an inch, Okay, make a dot and make a dot, and then just draw a faint line so you have one straight line. And then from this outer edge, go in a 1/2 inch, and from there you want to mark it 3/4 of an inch, and then 3/4 of an inch, 3/4 of an inch, all the way down to this last dot. Okay, and then you do the same here. And when this is sitting up, here's the seam, right? We've got the seam. Here's the seam. From this seam, I went in, I think, let me measure that just to be sure. From that seam, can you, am I in, nope, I'm not in frame. From that seam, I went in, let's see, the only thing I don't like about these rulers is it's got this like little space here. So what I did was, from that spine, that seam, I marked that. Where am I at? Let's see, can you see that? I just got too many things on my desk. Let me, okay. From the seam, the center seam right in here, that seam line. So just go ahead and make a line down your seam, fold it and make a line, okay? And from this line on that seam, hang on, let me measure this up. Go in about a 1/2 inch from this seam, from the bend of your seam, right here where I drew the line. I just lifted it up and then drew the line there, and then from that line I went at a 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch inside, okay? And then from there, from the top of your notebook, come in a 1/2 inch, and then from that dot you go in, make your next dot 3/4 of an inch, then your next dot at 3/4 of an inch, and so on until you come to the bottom, okay? And then you will see that from this faint line from the dot, it actually creates a small crosshair. So that's where you're going to punch in your holes. And so I keep saying I should go to a bigger desk, but then that bigger desk would just get me into trouble. So I'm going to use my little crocodile. Let me zoom you out. And I'm just going to start punching my holes. And I'm going to use the, I'm using the 1/4 of an inch hole. I hope my head's not in the way, but the way this thing is casting a shadow, I'm hoping I'm lining up my, let's see if this is a better angle for me. Almost. Still not a better angle. Okay, because of my lighting. Let's see. I'll start punching my holes here. Okay. Trying to get it as straight as possible. Okay, and I can do this. Yeah, it's kind of, I mean, this is the best tool that I've ever used for a hole punch. especially for my hands, since I have experienced some weakness, just overuse syndrome, I guess. Too many sports, volleyball especially, in hindsight, my goodness. They know if they told us, oh, and you'll have arthritis in your hands later in life, I probably would have still played volleyball because I love sports. Okay, let me show you what that looks like. And here are our holes. Okay, see the holes here? Pretty straight. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and punch out the rest, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and you guys are going to laugh at me because I made another oops, okay? But it's recoverable, okay? Now, you see what I did here? I forgot to move this flap out of the way, okay? So I can, what I should have done was lift it up. Okay, lift this up and made sure that this flap was not connected to this. Okay, so, but because I held it like this and started punching the holes, I ended up with this on my spine. Okay, so this is what my spine's going to look like. It's going to have these holes. Oh, what is that thing? Don't do as I do and don't do as I do, or something like that. Well, look at here. What I'm going to do is now I will take advantage of this and string ribbon. I'll put some ribbon out here. Or who knows, I might come up with something really cool. I may use the string to string this on here to give it that, I don't know. We'll see. Look at what I did, you guys. Look at what I did. Because I held it like this and started punching my holes instead of lifting up this flap and then punching my holes. So now I've got this accidental feature. Go ahead and laugh. Because I think it's quite funny. Okay. Well, now that we got this, let's get our string together. But before that, I want to go ahead and remove my lines. I don't want, so I'm going to erase the pencil marks. Oh my gosh. I can't get over it. Oh my gosh. So, when you guys go to punch your holes, please lift up your flap and then start punching out your holes. Okay. I know, Tracy. I hope you're laughing. Okay. Let's see. Where's my string? Okay. So I have the string. And I know I'm going to need a lot. Usually it's like this. When you're stringing up, like doing when I do my corset stringing, I'll count 1, 2, 3. Okay? But I need to consider the string that's going to be, it's going to take up that space behind here. Okay? So I'm going to add that, and I'm going to go again 1, 2, and 3. And I may have gone overboard. I may have taken too much, but then again, I don't know. And then because I know one's going to go up at the top again, I got to make allowance for that too. I'm just hoping that this is enough, okay? Because I've never strung it this way, because it's gonna, you know, crisscross. It's gonna have to have a lot more elastic banding to do the crisscrossing, right? You know how it crisscrosses? That's a lot of, I'm hoping that this is going to be enough. I'm just going to take one more just in case. And that may not be enough. So we'll just see. And then it may be way too much. But thank God this was something. See this, when I ordered the spool, I was hoping for a larger, thicker, wider elastic band, but I made the wrong order. I didn't check this for size. So I'm going to go ahead and get the center of this and just kind of get the middle. Oops. Come on. I'm going to put one here. Get this in here like so. Line these 2 points up. Okay. Ay. All right. Stretch this out, make sure. Okay. Now, let's just go ahead and string this through. Move this one side out of the way. So I'm going to come here. Yeah, how funny, right? Mistakes happen, but that could be a very good, happy mistake, right? Yeah, I think so. However, that just kind of ruined my first idea of it. Maybe adding, some sort of word feature to it. See, I'm hoping this is going to be enough. It should, because when you're done, I will pull this so that this is sitting taut. So while it's being strung in very loosely, let's see, go in through here, skip one and come through one. Okay, so this will come up here. I better not. I end up having to restring the whole thing. Remember how you used to, when you string up shoelaces, you can skip one and then you take the other one and keep going through. Okay, so this is here. That's here. I think we got that right. Yep. I think we're just going to barely have just enough. That'll go here. Yeah, that'll go into that hole. I think. Remember, we're going to pull this very, very taut, right? Because we don't want it to be loose, then it won't hold any papers in place. I'm hoping. That's my hope. Ugh, looks very short right now. Oh my goodness. Let's see. Let's come around here and let's kind of start pulling this, the excess. Oh, I think it's just gonna be too short. Yep. Yes. Oh my. Let's see if it is. Because see, this thing stretches. I'm just going to have to hold this taut now. As taut as I can. Pulling that through. Ugh, my hair is in the way. Sorry if I was off camera. I'm trying to hold this elastic as taut as possible. I think we just might have barely enough, just made it. So, okay, I'm going to have to pull. This is still very loose at the bottom. Let's see. Yep, I will just barely have enough. Okay. Okay. Let's get this one in. Then I'm going to pull it taut again because this is loose. Alright. Woo! Just going to make it. Just going to make it. Yep. Okay. Okay, come on. You can do this, Julie. This elastic band wants to run away from me. Ah! Where'd it go? Where'd it go? Okay. Do this again. Okay. No, get in there. All right. I'm gonna get this one through. This one. All right. Now, I'm going to tie this off. Okay. Yep, just barely had enough. Okay, look at that. I'm just kind of even the elastic, just kind of distribute the elastic banding so where it's all relaxed. And there you go. Check that out. All right. So we have this feature. And this is what all of this is looking like so far. So we have this. This is what this looks like now. And for a notebook, let me see. Let's mock play a notebook. Let's see if I can find a piece of paper. Okay. Is that too wide? Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Let me just move this over here. Let me just cut this little piece off right here. Okay. Now, if this was a notebook, see this, I'll probably have one. Do I want it up here? Yeah, perhaps. Let's say, let's just do it this way. This might still be too wide. Let's see. I can do this. Oh, it's a little too wide still. Okay, say this is a long notebook. Let's say it's just pretend. Okay, so we'll put the backing of the notebook through here. We can slide it through here. All right, and hang the notebook. See, the backing of the notebook is like going to be on a cardstock, right? And then your notepad can just, all of your papers just drape down here all the way to the bottom. Okay, to where it actually looks like, let's see. That's what the length of your notepad's going to look like, okay? So you're going to have sheets and sheets of paper here. The back of the cardboard will slide all the way down, okay? So the elastic banding holds it into place, all right? And then you'll have a notebook draped over here, and then when you lift up your notepad, you can add, let's add some, I can grab it, some ephemera pieces, you know, or letters, or put some pictures. And then your notepad's over here. So we close this up and we flip this page, okay? And so, okay, it's getting stuck here. We have our notebook here, and then we have extra places to put our, hold our ephemera pieces, right? So let me just show you what that's going to look like. You just slide all your stuff, lift up your elastic bands. Okay, so you have something like that. Now what I'm going to do with that piece of paper. Where's my pretend notepad? Huh. Hang on, hang on. Let's see if it dropped to the floor. My pencil did. Now, where is that piece of paper? Oh. Well, it was connected on this end. So. What am I talking about? I'm just, my head has got all these ideas. So that's our pretend notepad, right? We're going to put one in here, and then we close it up, and then you have the back here. That is just so funny, right? Oh my gosh. Oh, I can't believe I did that. Okay. So this is what this looks like, okay? And then, you know, you have something like this to put in there to hold extra that's just a little too wide. The eyelets on here are getting stuck. Let's see. What else do I have? That's too wide. Anyway, you guys all get the gist of it, right? Where is that? I want to. This is just that scrap cardboard. It was from a backing from stencils, see? Just using it as an example of beautiful tags that you can add to the book. And the reason why I did this without the eyelets is because everybody does not have eyelets, right? Everybody doesn't have eyelets to put into their binders, and you can still do this because this is very substantial. These holes are not going to get worn out of from elastic. But then it can, you know, don't quote me on it, but the elastic is so light and it's replaceable. So when the elastic wears down, then you can replace the elastic banding anytime, right? So that's what that looks like. Okay, and then we have this side when we come to it. We don't know what's going there, but all I know is I'm not adding any more holes. Why is that? That is glue. I think that's glue. Oh my gosh. Ay, ay, ay. To me right now that's an eyesore, and I'll have to do something. Oh my gosh. Tracy, another oops. See? It happens. But it's a happy accident, right? We'll do something cool with that. Somehow. Or I don't know. We'll see. Okay, everybody. That's what we've created. So if you wanted to, if for those that do have the acetate, if you want to put your acetate window in there, you can go ahead. If you have any ideas what to use to hold this acetate down for glue, I've tried our glitter glue, and I've used Fabri-Tac glue to hold the plastic down, and it just does not stick. As you can see, it's coming out. So my remedy is, I think I might add something. I might punch some holes here and add, I don't know, I don't want to add any more holes. I'll just leave it for now until I can find an actual glue that will hold this acetate down. I've seen so many use it, like Gail Gastinelli, everyone, a lot of the veteran crafters out there using art glitter glue for their ephemera books, and it holds. So I don't understand what I'm doing wrong, why it's not adhering to my paper. So anyway, there is that, you guys. What do you think? If you like this, give me a thumbs up. Oh, well, let's see, we're 45 minutes into this, and what I've done, you guys, let me show you. I did save that acetate, unless it's ran away from me. Nope, here it is. And what I did to get this, it's not even acetate, it's plastic, and I'll show you. From my Instax that my daughter bought me for an early birthday present in March, when my husband and I went on our anniversary getaway, she bought me this to take with me, and I just took the plastic and I just cut it, and that's what this plastic is. Okay, and then this one's a lot taller. Okay, you can always go for a taller, you know, washi tape. Well, it seems like it's almost the same size, nearly, just a tad bit taller. And what I did was where is it at? Oh, here it is. Oh, no, wrong one. Yep, no, this is the correct one. Took this crocodile, and I think it needs sharpening, and I'm not quite sure how to sharpen it except for run it through possible foil, because I use foil to sharpen up these guys. I'll run foil through it, punch foil. That's what I've heard that was a great technique for sharpening your tools, and it works. So I just cut the corners. This thing, as you can see, it's not as sharp anymore. It just, I need to sharpen that. And I'm hoping that foil will sharpen it. Just kind of turn that around and do that again. But what I did was because it was too jaggedy, like that, I took my file folder and just filed this off so there wasn't any horrible jagged edges that might cut your hand. But that's the reason why I corner rounded that, because those corners of this, when you cut it, it's like a little knife. So I just rounded the edges here and took off these little shavings and then just smoothed it out so you don't cut your hand on it. Okay, and that's this. Okay, and then I wrapped my washi tape around this, and you're probably wondering what this is, and I'll show you in a minute. Wrapped it around several times, and before I did that, though, I had punched these two holes out, these right here, and the reason why I did that was because I'm gonna get a thinner pen. They sell those thinner pens at Walmart. To put this in here, like so, okay? Just like this. And then I put this back on the Velcro dots. Just like that, okay? And the only reason why I took it out, I just use it to tie up tie it up. And I'll show you why we need a smaller pen. Because when you close this up, look at that. This is really bulky right here, okay? So I'm going to probably find one of those really small trim line pens. But I figured also a really great reason is that when you want to maybe take this with you, you know, just remove it from your folder, you know, while you're working on a journal. You can take your pen out, okay, and have your tape ready for you while you're journaling away. You know, you have your tape and then your pen, you know. I'm thinking about putting a pencil there. Did I just lose that pencil again? Yep, I sure did. Yep. Or, you know, a Uniball pen, something like that, you know, to like a decorative pen, colored pen, you can stick in there. And, you know, because this right here in the center will have a pen right here. So then you can just, you know, pen away. Go ahead and, you know, just remove it, or just remove the whole jacket, your ephemera jacket, you know, just remove this whole thing while you're working on your journal. Let's see. Let's just put all this together. And let's just show you what everything looks like, okay? If I can get my hand in here. I guess this video is going to be an hour long. There you go, Tracy. You said you like the longer videos. This one's for you, Tracy. But here we go. That's what this looks like. Okay. Got one signature in. Let's get the other signature. Okay, and then here we go. The pen is going to be here in the center. So this is what this looks like. Okay. So we have our beautiful journal. See how it's thickening up? Look at that. Look at how beautiful that is filling up really nicely, right? Okay. So we open up our journal. Here we go. We'll have something cool. We figure. Now, mind you, you can also, before you put this in, okay, before you put your tape in, before you put your dots in, you can go ahead and string it up just like this here. Go ahead and string it up just like this. Okay? So you have that inside feature. And then you can do that out here and use maybe a white, so where it's not so, you know, in your face, black, right? But I love the black feature because of the black lines in here. So I love that feature. See, and here we go. We've got that. How gorgeous is that, right? And then you turn this, go ahead and take this out. And then you've got this in the back. Okay. And just stick that and slide that back in. Now, I was also thinking, my original plan was to put the acetate Velcro dots here, put that in here to be able to, for me to do this feature on this side, but when I closed it, it was just way too bulky right here on the spine. So that's what that looks like. Okay, ladies and gents, I hope you like this, even with my little blunder here. So next time we come back on, I will have decided what I'm going to do here, how I'm going to fix this boo-boo. Probably put the magnetic closure on. Okay, so that's what that looks like. Isn't that fantastic? Okay. All right, guys, look at that. How beautiful is that, right? Okay. Time for me to go lay down, because it is now for almost 5 o'clock in the morning. I had to film it this early because I've got a busy day later on today. So anyway, you guys, thank you for stopping by. I hope you guys been happy crafting, and I hope that you like how this is coming along. It's getting close to its completion, and please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Give me a thumbs up. Share my channel. Subscribe if you haven't done so. And I just want to say thank you for supporting my channel. Thank you, and good morning, and happy crafting. Bye.